Part 1 ended with me talking about the amazing weight of the Glock 17. And indeed it is amazing. 25 ounces, 25 and a half ounces, and that's with an empty magazine. Glock just blows everybody away in terms of weight. Now, not everybody. I understand there's a lot of great designs out there. The Ruger P95, there's just so many, I'm not even going to list them all. And they probably stack up very close to Glock in terms of weight. And some may even beat it. But again, when I'm talking about the Glock 17, I'm talking about all of these categories taken together. I don't just say, oh yeah, it's the lightest weight, you know, I don't just pick and choose. I'm looking at everything. And still in 2008, there's very few pistols, if any, in my opinion, and that's all this is my opinion, that beat this gun. The weight is huge. Huge in terms of being awesomely lightweight. It's just incredible. Part of the reason for that is how they've designed the magazine. They're stainless steel lined polymer magazines. And they're extremely lightweight. As opposed to mostly steel magazines. H&K uses a steel magazine. Certainly 1911s do. Beretta does. SIG does. Almost everybody does. But Glock saves some precious ounces by using a mostly polymer magazine. Amazing. And a mostly polymer frame, which is 22 years later has proven itself extremely durable. I'll tell you, in the mid-1980s when this thing came out, there was a lot of doubt amongst the gun community about how safe, I'm sorry, not how safe, but how durable Glock will be. We'll talk about that here in a sec. But it's extremely lightweight, and it's very lightweight for what it does, and that is it gives you a lot of firepower. Gaston Glock, when he designed this gun, designed it around a 17-round magazine, which was pretty amazing for the day. Now, there were some other designs that also used high capacity, or as I like to call them, full capacity magazines. Smith & Wesson being one of them. However, 17 rounds of the day was pretty amazing. And it's still a lot of firepower in 2008. And guess what? You can even increase that. And here we go, starting with the amazingness of the Glock design. If we put on a +2 base plate, we get 19 rounds. And it barely sticks out. And if you have larger hands like I do, it gives you even more real estate for your hand on the pistol, which is excellent. We always want more real estate if we have a choice. At least I do. Now, again, this is more of a holster sidearm for me. This is not a concealed carry gun. This is not something I'd strap to my side and try to conceal. Certainly with a proper holster, you probably can do it. However, there are a lot better choices out there than a Glock 17 to conceal. So that's why I say an extended magazine is a very viable and good option. And yes, I know about the base plates popping off and all that. I personally have never experienced that in many thousands of rounds of fire with Glock pistols. So I'm going to go more off my experience than internet rumor on that. Now, if 17 rounds is not enough for your Glock pistol, 19 rounds is not enough for your Glock pistol, you can upgrade to a 33 round Glock 18 magazine. The Glock 18 is of course the fully automatic version of the Glock 17, seen in the Matrix movie by Lawrence Fishburne. He's using one. Just for reference, speaking of Hollywood, if you want to see what it looks like. In my opinion, by the way, I think the Glock 17 is a far superior choice than the Glock 18. Even if you have a Class 3 license, even if you're a law enforcement or military type that has access to a Glock 18, a semi-automatic pistol will do you just fine in most situations. And the Glock 18 is so friggin' uncontrollable, unless you're a complete expert and train with it all the time, it's pretty much a waste. Glock 17 is fine. Back to the magazine, this was originally designed for the fully automatic Glock 18. This 33 round magazine. But guess what? Since the Glock 17 is an 18, just a semi-automatic version, it of course fits into the butt of the Glock 17. Now, all my videos are intended for responsible, good people, whether they be civilian, law enforcement, military types. That's who my videos are intended for. Good people who are responsible. So, and I hope that you would apply your local laws and regulations with all the things we're talking about. So I don't even know if this is legal in your locale. It is for me. So back to the firepower issue. 33 rounds plus 1 in the chamber, 34 last time I checked. Oh, and by the way, this one has a base plate on it, so it's probably more than that. That's a lot of firepower in a pistol configuration. By the way, I'm going to do a little aside philosophy here. Occasionally you'll see guns like, I don't know, the SP-89, which is a semi-automatic version of the H&K MP5. This gun beats that in terms of weight and compactness. An SP-89 is a semi-automatic version, of course, like I just said, of the MP5. But the MP5 was designed to be a fully automatic subgun, maybe a 3-round burst mode. When we just limit ourselves to semi-automatic fire in that design, we are carrying a lot of unnecessary weight. The gun was designed, again, as a fully automatic gun. Therefore, it's heavier. So anytime I see someone touting the benefits of a 9mm carbon, whatever it is, in terms of compactness and firepower, how you doing? The Glock 17 still wins. 35 rounds right here, plus a couple more. Now granted, it's not a stocked weapon, therefore it has a disadvantage of being handheld, hand aimed, may not be as accurate. I totally get that, understand it. However, it's a 25-ounce gun that can shoot, you know, almost 40 rounds here. That's amazing. Amazing firepower. And there's very few other designs that can match that. What other design can you get a factory produced 33 round magazine for? Or in that, heck, disregard that, how about a factory produced 19 round magazine? There's very few. I know there's some out there that were designed around that magazine that don't stick out 6 inches from the butt of the gun. So in terms of weight, in terms of the amazing firepower, Glock wins. I also got to talk about caliber here, and there's lots of calibers in the Glock. There's 380, that's a European only one, 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, 45 ACP, 45 Glock auto pistol, very interesting cartridge, 357 SIG. Of course, I'm talking about the Glock 17 9mm. I'm going to make a separate video talking about caliber, so I'm not going to get into that now. But I do prefer the Glock in 9mm. It was the original caliber that the gun was designed for. I think it's most reliable, this is just me, in the Glock 9mm format. And also, you have more firepower. Not just more rounds, because the round is smaller and lighter, but you also have the capability of 33 round magazines for the Glock 17. Or 19, or 26, or 34 for that matter. All going to be discussed in future videos. So that is amazing. Firepower for Glocks is superior. There's no one that can even compare, and it's all factory produced. So it's going to be good. How about durability? Like I mentioned briefly, when it came out, the design in the 1980s, durability, the durability question of the polymer frame was a huge issue. You know, and the steel and walnut types, as I call them, who love steel guns, said this is garbage. It's going to break. It's not going to last. Well, I think we got the jury in on that, didn't we? I think Chuck Taylor, what he put, like 200,000 rounds through his Glock 17, it still kept firing. Amazing. Amazing durability. The jury has come back in on polymer, and the jury has said that it's outstanding. That it's just as tough, if not tougher, than aluminum or steel designs. In terms of durability, it's amazing. So polymer's not an issue. Also, it has a high heat resistance too. It's not going to melt easily on you, even if the gun heats up with rapid fire. In the next video, part 3 of the Glock 17, I'm going to talk about the Tenifer finish. And then we'll go on talking about the ergonomics, the simplicity, the amazing amount of accessories, the price, and the track record of this excellent, excellent design. Thanks for tuning in. Here comes part 3 shortly.